I want to show you Outward. I did a video on this a long time ago, but this video is me showcasing the wonders of Outward. Currently, we are in the Enmacar Forest. I've just arrived here, really. This is not the starting zone of the game. We have gathered a few bits. This isn't how you're going to start the game. When you start out, you're going to wind up in Chersonees, in a small village, the Urzo, and you're going to have nothing but some rags on your back. I thought we'd start off here because, do you know what? This game has so much to show you, and it's a bit of a slow burner, but that is the beauty of it. Anyway, I'm a mage. You can do many different builds. You could be a warrior, a ranger, or a mage. Possibly more. I don't know. I've not completed the game. This is my first run through, but yeah. As you can see, I've got a little lantern above my dome. I'm a rune mage at the moment. Kind of low on mana. In the left, you can see your health in the red, stamina in the yellow, and mana in the blue. When you start out, you won't have your mana. I have this backpack on, and when you get into combat, you should always like drop your backpack, because that gives you the ability to move quicker and your dodge is quicker. You can really mess fools up. Let me show you some of this cool magic that we can do, right? Check this out. Now, you have... So, if you look in the bottom right, we've got some runes. 4 runes, to be specific. If you hit them in certain sequences, you can cast certain spells. Green and blue. Casts a little runic lantern. And then, once you've casted a lantern and you've got some balls that you need to mess up to your front, you could potentially do something like this. Green and red. Bosh! Sometimes, as a mage, you are going to experience someone rushing you. And what are you going to do then? Well, let me show you what you're going to do. Red. Purple. Oh, yes, what's that? You want to have a go, my son? And you chop their face off. Then if you're feeling a little bit rowdier and you want to give them double trouble, turn it into a great sword. Oh, yes. And as you can see, it's now a great sword. I should have looked at the stats, the littler one, but this is pretty decent at starting out here. This can be expanded on even further, and there's so much more magic than just this. This is what I'm just sort of playing with now, and I am absolutely loving it. So right now, I'm wanting to go back to Chersonees. This is Enmacar Forest, as you can see on the map. This is this region. There are a few regions on the map. You've got Hallowed Marsh, the Abrasia Desert, Chersonees, and I believe there's another location. Don't recall the name of it. It's part of the DLC. We're coming up on Berg. This is a bit of a safe spot for you. It's an outpost. You can sell items, buy items, and rest. So these are the quiet streets of Berg. You can still interact and trade with everyone at night. It doesn't matter. But if you look at my health bar, stamina bar on the left there, you'll see that there is a duller version segment of the health and stamina. That's because some of that is burnt, and there are conditions that you need to meet to regenerate that, and you'll find there are various ways to do it. You can sleep, you can drink certain teas and various things like that. Anyway, this is the inn. I don't actually own a room as yet, so I'm going to rent one really quick. I want a room for 25 silver. Take my money. The old witch, but I'd rather not. Money's tight right now. I've just bought this advanced rune stuff, so you know how it goes. Anyway, the door is open. Look, I've got a backpack in here that I had previously. Ha! So I have no formal storage in Berg right now, so times is a bit difficult. Okay, so I'm going to have a sleep, and I'm going to recharge my health and stamina. So this is the sleep system. We're inside a safe house right now, so we can pick how long we want to sleep. If you were outside camping, you may need to guard for some hours because there's a risk of ambush. There are some spots in the world where there are butterflies and you can just sleep in them. You'll be completely safe all night. Anyway, can also repair your tools. That is advisable. I'm going to hit it for an hour. I don't think I've done a lot of anything, really. I think I'm good, so we can do that. Bright and early. Here we are. Time it's 5 in the morning. So, plan of action is I want to get back to Chersonese. There are things I need to do over there. Plus, I can showcase Chersonese to you and give you some tips. Yeah, so this game, as I said, it doesn't come with waypoints for navigation. It doesn't have fast travel. The only mode of travel is using your 2 feet. And I think the people this day and age, that might turn a lot of people off. But there's something wonderful about it. The music, the ambient noises. Oh, it's lovely. It's really good. And it's all about the adventure. What are you going to find behind the next tree, the next road? What's in the cave? There's like lots of dungeons to explore, lots of secrets and puzzles to solve. And every time you get into a battle, especially when you enter a new area, you never really know if you're going to win that, but you try your luck. You learn from every mistake. That's the thing about this game. It's punishing, however, yet rewarding. You never truly die in the game, you see. So when you lose a fight and your health depletes to 0, you're knocked out, you're unconscious, and then the dice is rolled. There are no dice, but metaphorically speaking, the dice are rolled, and there are several different outcomes that could occur. You could be killed by something out in the open, and perhaps someone spots you passed out, so they carry you to a campsite, give you water, and nourish you back to health. Or, in a different scenario, you might be discovered by bandits, and then they drag you back to a prison where they strip you of all your kit, and you have to find a way out of that prison. But although that may sound like quite a negative outcome, that in its own right is part of the adventure. Because in that specific scenario that I'm giving you, you gain the opportunity to get access to weapons that you probably otherwise wouldn't. You get imprisoned in a camp, and if you play your cards right and sneak around it, you can loot all weapons and potentially gain new skills in that area. So defeat isn't always failure. It's just a new opportunity to gain more things. So this was the path into Berg. I actually saw a giant. I don't know if it's a giant. It's not. She was massive. I think it was a female. She was a big girl. She had a great axe, and I tried my luck on her, and needless to say, barked me clean out. But we might get to clap eyes on her. No way! This is the big bitch! This is that big bird that tried to kill me! What the hell? Okay. I guess something else got to her. Okay, we've got an elemental dude over here. And looks like the travelling trader. I want to show you a bit of combat. So, let me do that. I'm still getting used to the runes. I've had them like a short while. So there we go. We bring up the lantern so that we can do our next spell. It requires the lantern, and the next spell is lightning. I'm also going to put down a trap right here. So the trap is red-green. My man's coming. Lightning. I need a blade. Red, purple. Oh god. Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. That's good. He's dead. Oh man. I've actually never used this little sword before. That happened a bit too fast for my liking, but there you go. Oh, yes, mate. I'll take that. Right, travelling between districts. I don't know what they're called. Areas, maps, whatever. You'll need rations, okay? And I believe you need a minimum of 3 to travel the area. So it's like, yeah, long distance travel. So just have that in mind before you make your journey. They're easily crafted. Any sort of meat, salt will create that. So as you can see there, travel rations required. I'm happy to do it. Let's go. Oh, damn. All that food just rotted. So that's something I've just learnt there. So in travelling, I guess days... I think days of... Oh, God. Yeah, I'll have to check into that. I'm guessing some days will have passed and we've lost a lot of food because of that. It'd be alright, though. Kind of forgiving the system. As you can see there, it's all full. That's decent. Okay. Anyway, this is Chersonese. That's the Conflux Mountain in the distance over there. So cool. This is where you spend your initial days in the world. And this is where you learn how to play the game. Now, when you start out, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to play careful, be smart. Because it is very unforgiving. Let's drink a mana pot. Have I got a mana? Yes, I have. And let's get some stuff going. So let's get the lantern, blue-green. And lightning is what? Green-red. Okay, cool. I'm going to drop my pack. I'm going to have a war. It didn't work. Because you didn't get your bleeding lantern out, you plonker. Runic blade, red, purple. Okay, hang on. Can I do this without getting hit? I don't want to get hit. You know what? I'm going to back out and use my club. Oh, he's a little archer. So I've got some really good gear. So I'm making this look kind of easy right now. But I can assure you, it will be much challenging when you start out. There we go. No trouble at all, to be fair. So let's get the pack out again. I'm going to summon my lantern straight away because I don't want to get caught out like that again. The blue-green. I guess... Wait, that's not working. What am I doing wrong? Green-blue. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the more and more I use this, I guess I'll get better at it. But for the time being, I'm learning. Is what it is. I'm going to take this because I need money. So you want to loot all their stuff and sell everything you can. That's the trick in the game. Starting out, do you know what I actually realised? It's really important to just know when to run away. And in some cases, it will require you to sort of rush round enemies and loot what you can and get out. So that it can offer you the ability to actually fight back later on. So that is solid advice. I recommend it. And also, as you travel the world, you'll find things like this. Gabberries. Definitely pick these up. Every time you see them, grab them. Because they give you a vital ingredient. Sometimes you get a spicy okra beetle. I think that's what it's called. I think I've got some on me. Yeah. Okra spice beetle. And they're so important. So there is a winter season in the game, and it cycles. So when you eventually hit that, snow will start to fall and the temperature will drop, and you are going to experience the cold. If you get too cold, eventually you're going to catch cold. If you catch a cold, you're going to start coughing, sneezing, and your stamina will be reduced. It may even affect your health regeneration. So just grab them. It's best to grab these and have a backlog of these beetles so that you can make teas. That's what they're used for. So you'll have a water skin and one of these beetles, and that will craft you a cup of bitter spicy tea, and it protects against the cold. If you do contract a cold, however, that requires something else. I will show you that later. So as we travelled, as you can see, Conflux Mountain there. Beautiful. I love this zone. It's so chill to me now. It was hell back in the day, but now I've overcome it and I feel kind of OP being here now. But I've had to travel back because what I want to do is I want to resupply. Back in Emmakar, they haven't got any seaweed. And I need seaweed to make a smooth tea, which does a couple of things. It cures the cold. That's not really an issue for me right now because it's not winter. But what it also does is it recharges your burnt mana. So I can down a mana pot, but you see on the stamina there's that bit where it doesn't go beyond. That's burnt. That duller yellow is burnt, and that happens for your mana too. So in this game, when you sleep, your mana becomes burnt. They say you've a foggy mind when you've been in the dreams, and you need to have a clear head to be able to cast your spells. So you can remedy that with smooth tea, and I'll show you how to craft it. We just grab turnips. Turnips are awesome. Grab turnips when you see them. You're going to need them. Mana potions, I believe. Yeah, it's restorative for mana. Also, turnip porridge. No, turnip pottage. What it is. I'm gonna eat that. So this, we have a friend here. That will slow, but the turnip porridge will slowly tick over and restore my mana. And that's great. I usually down one of them before I go on an adventure, and it fills up, and then I can just do battle, and yeah, I'm having a merry time. Anyway, this guy's getting some lightning to the face. Green, red. Oh yes. You scared, boy? Green, red. Oh, he just got out of my sight. Oh yes, mate. I got him. Okay, that's cool. I weren't even locked on. All right, sweet. These are kind of cool, these birds. They're kind of annoying, actually. But sometimes there's a chance they can drop a rare helmet. And it's like a bird hat or something. But if you find that, it's super rare. Keep it. And I think it increases your movement speed. So, grab it for the sake of having something rare at the very least. So, as I'm running past Conflux Mountain, another tip for you. This is the location you will acquire your magic. You can see there's a path leading up there. There are several ways inside of this mountain. And you'll want to be inside of it. There's something special at the top, which is definitely worth grabbing. But I advise you do it with caution. I'm going to spoil it. Yeah. So check the peak. And then if you traverse up and around this mountain, you'll find doorways. And they will lead inside. They're dungeons as well. So you'll have to fight all sorts of nasties in there. And eventually you'll find your way to the ley line, where you can sacrifice a portion of your life for mana, if magic is, of course, the route you want to take. But that's what I did, my little journey. When you start this game, you'll eventually be tasked to choose a faction. There are 3 factions. The Blue Chamber Collective. There's the Holy Mission. And then there's Levant, a Levant faction, but I don't recall what they're called. So, when you do get the option to do this, I would suggest you don't rush off and attempt to do that, like join a faction, because to be honest, the game can get away from you really quickly. Just collect your quests, get them in the log. They'll be in your journal here. Let them fester. These are your minor quests. Complete them till your heart's content. And really good for making cash. So definitely do that. But This is the one I'm talking about, looking into the future. So you'll be tasked to talk to 3 individuals. Talk to them by all means. Then they'll move on to their different areas. But your main goal, early game, is to go out into the world and experience it. Go out there and die. Find cool loot. Get stronger and more powerful. If you accept those factions earlier, I did this on my first playthrough, and I got quickly overwhelmed. Struggled like fuck. I actually wanted to join the Levant faction, so it was out in the desert, and the desert is brutal. And I went out there in what I think was working attire, and that's just absolutely mental. So don't do that. Don't be an idiot like me. Hold off the factions and absolutely smash Chersonese. This is the map for Chersonese. Go around, explore each place, get a feel for the game. This is your playground. Smash the dungeons, and you'll get geared up. You'll understand the fighting mechanics way better. Be way more prepared for the next zone. Just ahead, we have so your hometown. Start out. Okay, so this is the main gate. Make our way over here. This is a safe zone. You can't be hurt in here. So you make your way here. We've got the trader, travelling trader. He's always here, and you can check his stock. It changes, I think, every... I'm going to say 3 days. I'm pretty sure it's 3 days. Rolls over to items. It's worth checking this. Okay, actually, as we're here, really important, because this is some awesome tips. So when you start out in the world, always check this guy. And the things you're specifically looking for are things that just take your fancy, like maybe some new armour, things like that. But there's an item in the game called scaled leather. And that is really useful, actually, for making this armour that you see me wearing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's got some decent stats. And once you get it, it's going to offer you loads more protection. So the recipe for that, I believe, is... Oh, that's another important marker. That's another important point you're going to need. So to craft this, you need a basic armour type, scaled leather, and predator fangs, predator bones. Is that what they're called? Don't have any on me at the moment. I'll show you that in a second, though. So this is the little town hub. Got an alchemist there. She sells potions and scrolls and stuff. Blacksmith here. He will repair your weapons, and he can also craft you some really cool armour. Yeah. Then general store over there, but you can buy cups of tea, bandages, things like that. A lot of it you can craft, so you don't necessarily need to, but you can buy backpack upgrades, yeah, which you're definitely going to want to do, because you start with a satchel, which is really limited. If you head up here, you will see a few traders. We've got a food trader here. You can buy food from him. He can give you buffs. Here we have a couple of trainers. When you get here, you're going to want to speak to Eto. Eto is a very useful guy. You can say, I want to train with you. And then you'll see this screen. Now, if you look at this screen, you start from the bottom, work your way up. So if you want to unlock skills, it's going to cost you silver on this level. Once you hit this level, it is going to require a breakthrough point. On the top right, you can see we have 2. You start the game with 3. You'll never have more than 3, and you can never acquire any more. So make sure you spend these cautiously, and make sure it's on things you definitely are going to enjoy playing with. So you're going to purchase the bottom tier stuff, and if you like the stuff you see above it, you will need to break through to access this stuff. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But so if you come over here, definitely come over here. It doesn't matter what build you're going to want to do, like mage or warrior. You're probably going to want to purchase fitness. Gives your health It increases your maximum health by 25 and the amount of health you restore while sleeping by 20%. So definitely purchase that. It only costs 50 silver. Make it happen. Steady arm. Increase impact resistance by 10. Stops you from falling over or getting knocked down in combat. 50 silver. Get it in your life. All builds will want that. Now I'm going to take you up to your home base. So the lighthouse. Once you complete the prelude, you will wake up in your lighthouse and arrive on your doorstep where you'll be told you're a troglodyte scumbag. And the town folks are pretty pissed with you. So over there you can see something terrible happened. And kind of mixed up in it. And town folk are pissed. What's going to happen is they're going to demand a blood price from you. They want money. You need to pay a debt of 150 silver. The town leader comes in and says, chill out. He needs some time to get back on his feet. But the debt needs to be paid within 7 days. And that is a quest of urgency. So when you get that, you want to be attempting to resolve it swiftly. Because the consequence of not resolving it will mean that you lose this base. It will lock you out completely. You will be able to reacquire it, but it will cost you 300 silver, and ain't nobody trying to do that. So, the easy way to resolve this matter is 150 silver, which I totally advise against doing, or getting a tribal favour. So, the tribal favour, how can that be acquired? The best route is to spend your time in town, look around, search around for weapons, maybe some armour. Try and get on your feet. And then over here, on the docks, is where your very first dungeon is. It's pretty straightforward, but you still need to take care because at the early stages you'll be pretty vulnerable. So yeah, let's get inside here. We'll just use our lantern on backpack instance. So, nice and safe here. Definitely worth a look around. There are items scattered, you can see them. Little mooch, grab them. And as you come in here, now this is where you are at risk. There are some enemies in it. But you're going to want to travel down here. I'm just going to run through it, I think. See that little weeb there? We're going to blitz through this. Nice. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Okay, this could end poorly for me. Alright. And at the bottom, once you jump off this edge, you cannot come back. So make sure you're ready. You're out in the wild. Nip out here. And then you'll leave the dungeon. Here we are. We are on the beach. So, one thing to mention if you are doing this, make sure you're packing a bandage. One of these. It's absolutely critical. If you haven't got any or you're struggling to get them, you can easily get them by simply chucking something on there. Tear it into linen. Takes 2 linen to craft a bandage. So make sure you do that. It's easily done. These are shrimps, pistol shrimps. Oh, I need this. This is what you gather to grab your to make your soothing tea. Make sure you get that. That's vital. Pick all seaweed up. Pistol shrimps. This guy. Avoid these. They're awful and they're going to kick the crap out of you early game. So make sure you don't mess about with them. Try and avoid them. I'm going to give him an hiding because I think that's what he truly deserves. Let's get our blade going. Red, purple. Oh, you git. See, they hit like trucks. I am not playing very well. Drop the bag. Red. Purple. Right, I'm just going to try to hit him with lightning. Red. Oh, wow. I might die for you. That's okay. Because then you can see the instance. Wrong. Oh, Christ, I'm going to die. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die, I'm going to pop. It's actually really hard to play this and record it, if I'm being honest. I'm just going to get in and... I've had enough of you, son. You want to be playing way better than I am right now? Talking and gaming is hard. Need some stamina. Right, I want to hit him with lightning. Green and red. 3 and 4. Yes, lad. Now you're done, aren't you? So yeah, don't mess with him. As you can see, even at my level, which is, I don't know, the start of mid-tier. The very start of mid-tier. Oh, it gives you trouble. So there you go. Anyway, head up the beach with your bandage. And just by this rock over here, there will be a little geezer suffering. And you can talk to him, give him a bandage, and he will give you your tribal favour. So that is how you can secure your home for at least a short while. So every action in this game, well, a lot of actions in this game have consequence. So make sure you read the quests, pay attention to if there's timers and things of that nature. Because there are decisions you can make in the game which can change everything. Your access to a house, your access to an outpost. Yeah, you have to have caution. But if it does happen, you know what? It is not the end of the world, and the game isn't soft locked. You can still continue to play. You need to adapt and find a way around the problems that you're facing. So it's all part of the story. And you just need to embrace the difficulty of it, I think. But yeah. Yeah, so I think to summarise, key things you want to keep an eye out for in the world. Bandages. You can tear armours down, turn them into linen, and you can craft bandages super easy. You're going to use them to heal up and stop bleeds. Use them to get your first tribal favour over here on the beach. Things you need to grab and be keeping an eye out for. Gabberry bushes. Grabbing those will give you the okra spice beetle. You can make the tea that will keep you warm during winter. And of course, grab your seaweed beach so that you can get your smooth tea to cure colds and recover burnt mana if needs be. Those things, I think, will set you up. And the rest is all downhill from there. That's probably the hardest part, getting your head around and understanding the combat in this game. Yeah. It's such a fun game. I hope some of you will give it a go. And maybe, when I get done with my playthrough, I will try and record my very own little playthrough of this. But one where I won't be fumbling around quite as much because it will be second nature to me, so I can chat and try not to die at the same time. Anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.